Hello, this is National Chess Master Rats. I'm here with Team4545 League to analyze a game played in Team 55 Week 3. This is between QueensCounselor and Pinkberry. And this game was selected as Game of the Week for Week 3. So let's have a look and see what happens. Okay, we get into something obscure here. It's a line called the Beefeater's Defense. I don't know if that's named after the gin. I don't know, but it's certainly an interesting line. Most people aren't going to be prepared for a line like this. Black has willingly given up the bishop pair, taken away a useful defender of the king side, but in doing so, he has fixed white with some permanent weaknesses on c3 and c4, and Black would like to objectively counterattack those pawns and win one and then be a pawn ahead. And the question is, what can white do? And I know this pawn formation is something similar is often seen in the Nimzo Indian defense, but usually when the white pawn is at going to d5, it's attacking a knight on c6, which in turn goes to a5. Let me just kind of illustrate that. And then what Black does is he proceeds with this maneuver: pawn to b6, bishop to a6, d6, queen to d7, and queen to a4, and suddenly Black is all piled up on that c4 square, and usually that will result in Black winning the pawn. But Black can't get this formation here. Maybe he has a chance to do something similar. We'll see as we go on. But I don't know the theory on this opening. You need to know the theory on this opening if you play this variation as white. Okay, so it's something that you're going to have to prepare for, especially if you play Pinkberry, because he'll probably play this on you and come back a little better armed, because he's going to lose this game. And I think the reason he lost it, we'll get to it, part of it's because he played too quickly. And I've preached about this many times in these league games. You've got time on the clock. Why are you blitzing chess? You play blitz chess for recreation chess, and just to practice openings and learn endings and sharpen your tactics. But it's a sad state of affairs. So many people are playing blitz now. They practice their blitz in their tournament games, and so you're ruining your chess. I don't care what you say. You are. I know more. All right. Okay, so Black immediately starts counterattacking the pawns, and he's playing all these moves very quickly. And there's nothing at all wrong, it seems to be with the strategy, but we'll see where Black goes wrong here shortly. Okay, Black just continues his development, and now the knight redeploys to b6. Now it's pressuring c4, so White's got to deal with that. He brings the knight back, and Black develops another piece. And this is an interesting move. White can't afford to trade queens because he won't be able to cover the c3 weakness too well. Here, I'll show you. Queen takes. Now Black's just threatening to win a pawn and drop his knight into e4. This is ugly to say the least. What are you going to play? Knight b1? Yeah. How about rook b1? I can't advocate that, because Black will just defend b7, and then White's forced with ugly moves like rook b3, and all of his pieces are defending. So Black's got to be fine against that. So White makes a logical move here. He says, well, if you want to trade queens, let's trade them on my terms. If you take my queen, I'm going to take back with my pawn, battening down the hatches on c4, and I should be okay, and White should and will be okay. And it's at this point that I think Black really starts losing the thread of what's going on here. His first move's okay. It shouldn't have cost him the game, but Black's going to castle now. Think about it for a second. Which side are you going to castle on? The natural side to castle on is the king's side. But there's one piece missing over there, and that's the dark squared bishop. So maybe Black felt that he might end up suffering on the king side later if White generates an attack there. So he felt safer on the queen side, and then run a pawn storm, and White can't against the white king, and White can't really run a pawn storm against the black king because His pawns are all immobilized over there. So castling queenside does make sense. It's just the follow-up that really hurt black, I believe. So and black did take his time on that move, but I think castling kingside's a better choice. White's not going to attack on the kingside, and black can still attack on the kingside if he maneuvers around a little bit. But black's not really trying to attack. Black's playing to equalize. Black's playing to keep the pressure on c4, keep white tied down. And I think castling kingside just cements that black has at least an even game. Okay, so now this is the point where once again white takes his time, or black takes his time, but he just lost the thread of the game. The move just starts creating a lot of weaknesses in the black position, weaknesses that weren't there and are not there now. What black needs to do is to just take this pawn. How's white going to deal with it? If you take with the knight, c4 hangs. Okay, you know, and white just doesn't have enough here. So you know, if you take with the bishop, you're now giving back the bishop pair if black so chooses. It's like, just as I say, if knight takes, you know, we can happily just munch this pawn. Thank you, and we're a pawn up. Okay, and if you take with the bishop, well, you know, let's see, you can take it back. Now, once again, you have to take with the rook. Now, white's got some weaknesses on the king side. Yeah, I know e7's hanging, but so what? We can cover that easy enough. And I don't think white has enough going here to justify everything. How do we cover it? Well, one way is just to ignore it and offer something in return. We can get our pieces active. You know, stick the bishop on h3, let him have the pawn. But if you really need to defend it, it can be covered. Now, how's white going to attack it again? Well, he's got to move his knight, but then maybe bishop f5 comes in, and we're going to chase that rook off the e-file. So, you know, this taking there was fine for black, but as I said, he loses the thread here of what's going on, and I think it's simply because he was playing quickly. Although he took his time on last move and on this move, the fact that he's played quickly, it just takes him out of the sense of what's happening here. So he comes up with this move, which just really weakens his position, and we'll see why in a moment. And white takes advantage of all these weaknesses really quick. The first choice is to take en passant. Now, what does this do? Well, it gives black a backward pawn on d6 for what it's worth. Okay, and then now this is the key move, e5. Okay, black's in trouble now. He's got some play on c4, but he can't do anything with it at the moment. Right now, his knight on f6 is under attack, so he deals with it. Whoop, I went a little too quick there. He deals with it by taking the pawn, and now suddenly, look at the black position. It was safe and solid just a couple moves ago. Now that the center is opened up, and black did this before he was fully developed, white's got threats of his own. He's attacking c5, he's attacking e6, and c5 comes with check tempo. So black tries his best. Now he gets his pieces to start developing, but you know, like I say, there goes a pawn with check, and white's just bagged himself a clear pawn, and black has some counter here. He's trying, but there just isn't enough, and white starts slowly improving his position, and this is doesn't work out. We just take it, and now here, let me see. This is correct, but here white missed his way. I think the key move here is bishop f4 check, but he comes back with the queen. I think bishop f4 check does all. Well, wait a minute. Knight f4 is check. Let's see. There was something white had here. It might have been bishop f4 check. I'm trying to remember the tactics involved. Oh, no. Oh, simple. Rook takes. Okay, yeah. This just wins outright. Black can resign. What's he going to do? If rook takes d5, yeah, here's where bishop f4 check comes in. And black's just going to be down a piece, or two pieces actually, with nothing to show for it. What's he going to do? Well, he can put his rook here, you know, fine. Well, we're taking it anyway. Let's just take it with check. Ouch. Black can resign. So, I don't know how he missed an obvious move, but sometimes these things happen in league play. Let's see, how much time did white take on that move? 33:56. He barely took over a minute. Now, he has time on the clock, and he didn't utilize it. So, black's able to generate a wee bit of counterplay here, and white just runs his king. It's a fine choice. He's up a piece, and that's enough to win. White just could have won a little easier. And black's got to open up some lines. It's the only hope. So, and, you know, the white king certainly looks airy, but black's not coordinated to get anything at it. Everything is just not working over there towards the king. So, now he finds it. And just picking up material. Trade queens, and the black attack is over, and white just a pawn up. I mean a piece up, and let's see, even has a pawn on top of that, icing on the cake. So now it's just a matter of consolidating the position, and white just succeeds in exactly doing that. Let's get a pass pawn. Once we get a pass pawn, you're not going to do anything. There it goes. It's getting closer. And that's too little too late for black. Now, if black takes the knight, the white pawn queens first. So he realizes that. And look at that. It's ready to go. So he stops it. He gives back the piece. But there's really nothing else. Black can safely resign this. And here, look at the game. Black's moving quickly now because clearly there's nothing left to do, and these moves are just kind of useless. And clearly, white will win this end game. Both pawns on the queen side fall, and it's just a matter of bringing the king over to administer checkmate. So, you know, it's a fine game by white. He did the best with what he had, but black just kind of gifted him this. So let's just look back again at the beginning. Okay, the black strategy is to attack the pawns. What could white do differently? Well, one thing is to we saw he got a little bit of trouble with the bishop being fianchettoed. One way to do it is to play e3. Okay, this brings a defender on c4 right away. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. It's black's move, so I can't move. Okay, e3 here. Okay, e3 here does shut in the bishop. Well, we don't have to shut in the bishop. Yeah, maybe we do. There could be some. If we bring it out to g5, it can get chased. I don't know, but e3 seems a safe, solid move. And then black should just continue his development. Okay, and we'll prepare to play e4 later when it's to our advantage. And let's say, suppose both sides castle. White might as well develop another piece here. And now we're getting ready for e4. And the game's about even. But here, white's not kind of as tied down as he was in the real game. He's got c4 a little better covered than he did before. Let's see if black tries his plan. Well, here's white breaking in the center. And there's that move again. Okay, let's go here, develop this. I'm just kind of playing the moves they did in the game. But, you know, this seems okay. White can take on f5, and he's done fine. Let's see, suppose black takes on e4 first. I don't know, you don't want to play that. Take it. I do this just to get the rooks connected. Now white's got to deal with, this is kind of interesting. c4 is becoming a problem again. Maybe black's getting somewhere with this. So, you know, white's got problems on c4, definitely. So maybe my idea wasn't so grand. I don't know. You know, it's just one line. There's always resources and so forth. It's just worth a look. Maybe white has to do a little more preparation before he gets e4 in. You know, just delay it. He's going to get it in eventually. Maybe preface it with pawn to f3. We could also play the knight to b3, and then the queen can swing to e2. That'll hold down c4. That's a possibility. You know, it's an even game. Black's got the e5 square for a knight. You know, that seems like a, well, not necessarily with the pawns on f3. Could go to f4, keep it out of there. But, you know, it's an even game, and you know, it's going to take a mistake to get a bad position here. But white should be okay out of this line. But it seems to me like black's going to have equality in some way. And obviously, there's so many variations every move, so many possibilities. All I can do is just show one or two of them, get some ideas, get the creative juices flowing. Those of you that play online chess, or postal chess as it used to be called, where you turn-based game, you make your move and it gets transmitted instantly. You know, the old days it went by letter or postcard, and depending on where your opponent lived, it could maybe take 2 weeks for him to get the move, maybe longer if he's in the far side of the world. And the games go very slowly, but if you have enough games going, it keeps your interest up. But you have all this time in between to look at your games, and you can really uncover a lot of the mysteries. And this is the key to becoming very, very good at chess, is to really take your time and analyze games. And that's what I always promote, that you get better by analyzing your games, and hopefully the players that played this game will see this video. That's one of the objectives. And well, whether I'm right or wrong about stuff, we don't know. You sit and you analyze it. You don't sit there and find one line and say, "Ah, I've solved it." You know, you haven't. You have to dig. And I know a lot of the lines I show are flawed. I miss one movers, but that's not important. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm showing you how to analyze a game. And with all the one movers I overlook, you know, I can play solid 2,500 FIDE strength at correspondence chess. I've proved I can do that in ICCF from '86 till about the year 2000, when I was heavily active in it. I've already proved I can do that, and I can do it again if I want to sit down and take my time. Instead, I show others how to analyze games, and that's one of the ideas with these league videos is to kind of show you how to analyze your games. Tear them to shreds. You know, it's always going to be an even game at some point. Then the moment one gets an inch, you know, you try to get more. And black tried for too much too quick here. Never did get his attack going that opposite side castling suggests, and made some weaknesses, and white took him down. And it's just that simple. So a very good game by white. Better luck next time, black. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.